Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to another session of Living World of Darkness, New York by Night, the Camarilla venue. Tonight, we find our intrepid harpy and sheriff Limey sat in the VIP area of the coal cellar, which is a toned-down little affair with a similar vibe to the main bar proper. Lots of brass and lots of red leather upholstery and dim lighting and the smell of smoke in the air. He has called on Ghost this evening after the unfortunate incident of the shooting outside of the club recently, in which one of his men was shot and almost mortally wounded before they got him patched up by a doctor. So Limey is sat waiting in the VIP room where he is told Ghost that he is with three men. One of whom it looks like a bad rip-off of like an 80s hip-hop video. The other looks like a Russian war criminal, and the other looks like a besuited jazzman. And at the head of the table sits Limey. And they're making small talk about business and sort of the current economy, the criminal economy, etc., while they wait for Ghost and her friends to show up.
Ghost doesn't leave you waiting too long. She turns up about 2 or 3 minutes after the arranged time. And she's dressed up a little bit for a change. She's got a white shirt and black tie on, slim fit black tie, with the sleeves rolled up to the elbows.
Or the income show?
Yeah. Well, you can see up the ink up to her elbows at least. And she's wearing sunglasses, and she's followed in by two big burly biker guys, one with grey hair and a short beard, and the other one with dark hair and a long beard. They're both mid to late 30s, quite sort of standard biker build, sort of big bellies but muscular.
Yeah.
And she lowers her sunglasses as she walks into the room and lowers them in Limey's direction so you can see her eyes, and she nods.
Limey tips his hat a little as they walk in and raises his eyes to meet Ghost. Gentlemen,
Ghost isn't wearing she normally wears quite a lot of jewellery, but she's not wearing any rings or anything at the moment. There's only one necklace piece around her neck, almost like a choker necklace. It's the eternity symbol.
Limey glances it over and takes a guess as to what it could be, but doesn't say doesn't say anything. Though Ghost might notice and acknowledge it, just sort of raise his eyebrows as his eyes drift to the necklace. So, please take a seat.
She sits down, puts her sunglasses on the table.
Right. Well, thank you very much for coming, Ghost. Gents. He looks up at the two bikers, who undoubtedly look down at his posse with a little bit of fucking hell. You were going to say something?
No, they seem quite laid back. They sit in their chairs.
So, I thought I'd call this meeting because while business seems to be going well, and undoubtedly, I'm really sorry. Do you mind if I just take this call?
Yeah, sure.
I know that's a bit important. Cheers.
Whilst Limey is taking an important phone call, Ghost looks around the room at his particular lackeys and there's a hardened, deeper air to Ghost at the moment. Her body language seems relaxed, but her facial features are more rigid. Her emotions deeper buried beneath the surface.
I'm very sorry about the delay. That was very rude of me to just run off. But
I
yeah,
was just saying, I was just doing a bit of description, just saying how Ghost's body language seems to be relaxed, but she's not as easy to read as normal. Her emotions seem to be deeper underneath the surface.
Limey, in his mind is like, oh, fucking hell, I wish all these brutes were on here because then we could actually have a chat. But he knows to ask if Ghost is alright in front of our soldiers is a dumb idea. So he he gives her like a nod, a furrowed brow. But apart from that, he sort of leans back in his chair and lights up a cigarette. So business is going well. We spread our influence across several of the gangs in the area, even some of the underworld factions, with further expansion to come. But as you know, Ghost, one of our boys was taking a pot shot at the other day, and my informants still haven't gotten back to me as to who exactly made the hit.
Well, a couple of my scouts went to followed down the tracks to the area and brought up these pictures, and she reaches into her jacket pocket and gets out a couple of like photos, digital printed photos that have been taken on a phone and then printed out elsewhere. And it's lowrider custom vehicles, and they've been painted black and green, obviously in like gang colours. They've been painted to look like Archfiend's gang colours, but obviously they're not our cars.
Limey, as the photos slide across the table to him, he puts a finger on it and sort of glances down before passing them along to the suited, quite small black man next to him, which is then passed on to the Russian-looking type. So what the fuck is this then?
Ghost shrugs.
What? No idea. They're just.
They could be trying to start trouble and plant it on us now that we're making a name for ourselves.
Clever business initiative. Poorly executed because we caught the fuckers. So you know where this is?
Yeah, it's on the outskirts of our territory.
Right, so here's how I see it. We roll down there with a couple of your boys, and He looks between the men sat on the table around him. He says, and Uncle Ivan, I'll bring a couple of your men with me. And we're going to have a chat with him. You dig? The Russian nods, as do the other two men beside him. What do you say, Ghost?
She sort of half smiles and nods. Sure, sounds fun.
When's best for this little excursion?
Whenever suits you. I think sooner rather than later before they pull something off.
Right. I'm thinking tomorrow night.
Yeah,
You dig?
I dig.
Good. In that case, unless there's further business to discuss, gentlemen, I'll ask that you leave myself and Ghost. We have some private matters to attend to. Can you dig it? And he kind of like sort of gestures with his hands for them to get out of their seats.
Two bikers stand up. One of them leans over and whispers something in Ghost's ear. Sort of a low rumble by his tone of voice. And she nods. And he sort of taps her on the shoulder a little bit, affectionately, before walking out.
Yeah, the gentlemen surrounding Limey get up and shuffle out. The sort of like the sort of more traditional looking gangster type, sort of sloping his shoulders. Uncle Ivan walking with a military gait, and the gentleman who was sat next to Limey kind of sliding out all cool like before the door shuts behind them. Limey pulls out a packet of cigarettes from his pocket and slides them across the table to Ghost.
Ghost takes one, lights, and flicks the zipper closed.
So, we're going to talk about what happened the other night?
Seems like you want to. She leans back in the chair and puts her boots up on the table.
Limey glances from her boots back up to her face. You seemed a little emotional.
Yeah, well. You care, you lose.
Yeah, I get that.
Circus Knox used to be my family, in a way.
What happened?
It's a dangerous life. People assume that if you're not with them, you're against them, and as you heard from the little dramatic piece at the end, which was so aptly timed, people die. People get burned. It's not the life. It wasn't the life for me then. You know, I didn't like the risk. Didn't like the chaos.
Tell me about it. It's the one thing that stops me from going out. So, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little worried we were gonna lose you. I was worried Circus Knox were gonna roll out of town and you were gonna roll with them.
No. As much as Mort dotes on me, like she said, there's one ticket in, one ticket out. They wouldn't have me back in Circus Knox.
Well, that's their loss.
I've got no interest in palling up back with them, whatever. The only thing that tied me to them properly is gone now. We see her clench her jaw very slightly, but she doesn't seem. She seems to have a control on her emotions now, unlike she did a few days previously.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of glances at her. Look, I'm sorry about what happened. Yeah. It's never easy losing someone you care about.
We hadn't seen each other in 15 years, I think. What was done was done. She went out doing what she loved.
May we all go the same way.
Yeah. There's no use hanging on now. We've got to move on up, move on out.
Move on up, baby. Move on up.
But in any case, I wouldn't shy away from the idea of putting some holes in some bodies. Make me feel a little bit better.
Well, tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. These guys, I mean, you saw them. Your boys got photos of them. They look heavy.
Didn't really get close enough to see them very too clearly. Mostly just the cars. The cars looked pretty basic. It's not a high cash operation.
So how tooled up are we going to go into this?
Well, personally, I'd like to take it cautiously at first. Just see what we're up against when we walk in, and then bring in the backup if we need it.
That sounds like a plan to me. Like I said, I'll bring some of Uncle Ivan's men because he's oh, so I'm really sorry. I'm gonna have to take this. Right, back with you. I'm gonna have to run this up.
It's alright, we can wrap the scene now.
He says, yeah, cautious sounds like the right plan. You and me go in, see what's what, and then if it looks a little too heavy, then I'll have Uncle Ivan's boys waiting in a van, and well, I'm sure your guys can handle themselves.
Yeah.
Limey laughs, knowing that the bikers are kind of the muscle of the operation. And he says, well, in that case, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
She picks up her glasses and puts them on and says, "It's a date."
I look forward to it. See you tomorrow, Ghost.
See you later. And with that, she heads out.
Limey watches Ghost leave with a furrowed brow before standing up and straightening his suit jacket and stubbing his cigarette out in the ashtray. He too leaves via the heavy door of the VIP exit. Is that Miles Davis filtering in from the stage? And with that is where we shall end our scene. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Lisa, for joining me. See you soon.